What's poppin', big headed fam? It's your boy Big Gotti. Thank you for rocking with me on another one. Hey, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, man, because it lets you know when I drop. Now, basically, a big headed subscriber, he has sent this in to me, man. He want to stay anonymous on this one, but he said, man, check this out. Is Adam22 and Vlad dissing Aaron Carter after his death? It sound like they talking real bad on him. So I'm going to get a bar this. I ain't even watched it yet. And y'all let me know what y'all think about the content in the comment section. Man, let's go.
Well, yeah, the last interview I did was almost a year ago. He just had his baby. The baby was like a week old. And it was really odd to me that he would bring a 1 week old baby to an interview.
Hello to the world, baby. Say, my name's Prince. Yeah. That's important. He's precious. There's nothing like this, you know? Nothing. I've experienced a lot of cool.
I mean, I don't see how it's odd, so I don't even know where they're going with that. He probably got a nanny off camera, you feel me, watching the baby first of all. And he probably just grabbed the baby for a second just to put it on camera. So I know, you know, Vlad putting a lot on it. So I don't even know how this is strange anyways. He happy he had a kid, man. That's weird.
Cool things in my life. I mean, I've been everywhere. I've been Eiffel Towers and monuments and working with people, but there's nothing like this, man.
That is true.
Most times people keep a baby at home for, you know, months at the point of actually taking it outside.
A 2-month-old baby is still
a baby.
Very much in need of care at all times.
Yeah.
Anything could fuck up their day.
Right.
Whereas 1 week.
Right. He was there 1 week after bringing the baby. We did the interview, and he seemed a bit off. And then later that day, or the next day, it was announced that him and his girl had broken up. She was with him as well, right? And I was like, no, this is bullshit. He was just at my interview a few hours ago with his girl. And they're like, no.
What's kind of like the purpose? Like, where are we going with this? Like, I'm not understanding why they even speaking bad on him and he died. You feel me? Like, so I understand why the homie sent this to me now. You feel me? It's not making no sense. Why are you even speaking bad about him in the first place? You feel me?
The fight happened after the interview, and now they're broken up and parting ways. And I was just like, you know, I just don't want to have a part in the dysfunction that's happening right now.
Yeah.
You know, it's like people have come by and did the show. And after our last interview, you know, like Bunk Gang, yeah. I was like, our last interview was so bad. He looked like he was coming off of a lot of drugs. I was like, nah, I'm cool. Orlando Brown, after our last interview and everything I've seen, I said, nah, I'm cool. Like, you know, I wouldn't do a Kanye interview right now, even if it was offered to me, because it's like, nah, like you're going through some serious mental, you know, severe mental issues, and I don't want to give you a platform to display those issues to the world and make it look like I'm somehow taking advantage of your dysfunction or anything else like that. Go on and work whatever you want to work through on your own. Maybe at some later point we'll circle back. So I think Aaron actually had reached out to do another interview with me, and I said, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, because generally I agree with that. Like, somebody hit me up to do a BAM interview a few times over the years, and I love BAM. Like, I grew up on Jackass and everything, BAM Margera, for anyone who's confused, and you know, but then like I seen Steve-O interview him relatively recently. It got millions and millions of views of basically BAM just doing a little victory lap, talking about his sobriety and how great everything is and how easy it was for him to get sober. And sure enough, he's drunk as shit like a month later. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know. I don't really get a lot of joy out of talking to somebody when they are in that bad part of their life. You know, there's a certain value to documenting somebody's life regardless of what they're going through, but it's just kind of depressing to me. And I don't like letting somebody lie to me on camera. Like, I always want to be able to call them out on their bullshit, right? And to me, an addict is almost always somebody who's not willing to confront the reality of their situation. And I don't really want to talk to somebody unless we can really talk about what they have been through. And I have seen a lot of people, like, you know, Aaron Carter was somebody who had this big mob of women basically who followed him, hated him, wanted to destroy his life, would report him to the cops, would trash him on social media, whatever. And in some situations, you could probably say that they were right, that they had reasons to be worried about his behavior, especially with the kid and the drugs and whatever. But I've seen a lot of those same accounts on Twitter kind of pivot to blaming me for platforming him or for being willing to have a conversation with him, which this is my thing, is I slowed down a lot on interviewing him. And then we do another interview. I don't know what version of him I'm going to necessarily get, right? Because there's people who are fucked up on drugs and, you know, every time you see him, they're just fucked. And then there's people like Aaron who every time you see him, you feel like you're getting a different version of him. And to me, it's like Aaron is my friend, or was my friend, who has issues with drugs, right?
So yeah, this is definitely confirming that this is after his death, since he said that was his friend. I feel like even trashing his name and not saying all the good stuff about him is this kind of trash. You feel me? This is a trash ass interview. Why would you even drag his name through the mud or say anything negative? He gone. Say the good times. Say the good stuff. Don't start saying all the negative shit, bro. You feel me? Like this ain't cool. But let's keep going.
We sat down to have a conversation, and I didn't know what version of him I was going to get. And people are kind of giving me a hard time about, like, trolling him or whatever. And it's like, bro, like, he showed up to the interview and was interrupting me, giving me bullshit answers, just sort of, you know, talking all crazy, all over the place, not really necessarily making that much sense. It's like, can you really judge me for being a little bit snarky and irritated in the interview? You know, it's like everybody has this completely different view of things once somebody loses their life and they gain this different perspective on it. But I mean, that's real life right there. It's like there was nothing I could have done. People always want to say, oh, you could have forced him or you could have helped him. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm not going to be able to do shit until he decides that he wants to help himself. I've had people in my life who are a million times closer to me than him, who I had a million times more reason to help, who I couldn't help. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, if you want to get off drugs, this has got to be a personal decision.
So when I watched this, right, and thank you to the homie that sent this in, I feel like, you know, they kind of making him look bad. You feel me? Like, they shouldn't even be talking about bro like this. Like, if y'all say y'all was his friend and shit like that, Vlad, obviously, he said he distanced himself from him, but, you know, Adam said that was his friend. Like, y'all should be talking about the good times, you know what I'm saying, when he came in there and he was doing good. And his investments, he said he was about to buy a $1.2 million house, you feel me? Like, y'all should never talk bad about the man, you feel me? But that's my opinion, you feel me? Y'all let me know what y'all think, though, in the comment section. I mean, I feel like this kind of cold, you feel me? Like, you don't need to talk bad about somebody once they die, because he ain't really here to defend himself. And I didn't hear you saying all this shit in his face, you feel me? Neither one of y'all. But, man, to the next one, man, y'all stay safe out there and watch out for the backstabbers, man.